So.
They usually have a lot of fun stuff going on.
Yeah,
You
it
ready?
was their first one.
All right, we're gonna get started with the meeting Administration and Legal Affairs Committee. Wednesday, December 10th, 2025 at 5 p.m. Prayer. I guess I'll do that. All right, dear Heavenly Father, just thank you for this opportunity to serve the people of Stephenson County. We just ask for your help and guidance as we work through this agenda and help us get home safe and warm tonight. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen. All right, 3.0 approval agenda. I'm gonna strike 9.2 as we're not ready for that one. So other than that, okay, motion? Huh? You want to strike 9? Yeah, we're gonna move that to,
I guess we could talk about.
we're gonna talk about it, move it to finance 9.1, but. Okay, I got a motion in a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, 4.0 approval of meeting minutes from November 5th. 2025 approval.
I will
And
second.
a second, we got a routine here. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And 5.0 approval of claims. I've got a total of 67,521 and 37 cents.
I will make a motion to approve.
I'll second, I've read through them all and we're good to go. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All unanimous. Public comment, only here for that. So let's go on to 7.1, county treasurers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yep.
So I just want to go over my claims this time because this is my big month, $5,400, but most of that is tax sale related and reimbursements for travel. So if there's anything unusual that you saw there, I'd be glad to go into depth, but that's why I kind of want to use that to illustrate when we do the budgeting process and people look at how nothing's spent up until July, is because a lot of us, our expenses really don't happen until the end. So just to illustrate there. Financial reports. So the November report was at the 3rd. Hope everybody had a chance to take a look at it. The investments, 12 of them, and in the yellow, matured in November, earning over $39,000 in interest. As of the 30th, there are 18 investments in place. At month end, the total value was $11.7 million. I did initiate basically 2 million plus of almost 3 million of investments yesterday, anticipating the rate cut that did happen today.
Good job.
Yeah, and I kind of, I'm thinking, I haven't read the analysis that I usually get because it just happened today, but I'm surprised at the number of potential cuts that are also predicted to be coming in the next. So the things I locked in, it was 2.9 million. And it's yield is 3.6, good till March. So trying to capture what I can when I can, because this year, if you look at the interest earnings in the report that Adrian sent to, we've done really well. I don't know how long that gravy train's gonna last, so I try to grab it while I can. So other items of interest on the cover page, which details the sales taxes and income taxes. Down a little bit compared to last month, but overall, compared to this time last year, we're about 312,000 over year over year. But then I think, that's because the rate's higher, things cost more. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, but in terms of the end balances on our accounts, that's a positive. For the month of November, total county funds are up over $300,000. So that's great whenever it's positive. So we're doing fairly well there. Does anybody have any questions about the report? Okay. Tax season's over. Praise Jesus. So all the taxes and interest earned on those distributions have been made. November 26th was the final date. Distributed taxes for tax year 24, which we just finished, total 91.447 million and change. The original amount due was 91.099, but with adjustments and other issues, the adjusted amount took us to 91.5. It's a lot of numbers to tell you that the overall collection rate countywide was 99.902%, which outstanding. We had a great tax sale. So, I mean, normally at least half of our parcels go to trustee, which means no money changes hand. It was significantly better this time. So, and actually the average rate from the tax sale dropped, which is the benefit to the payer. So that they don't have to pay as much interest. So it was a very competitive sale. So we're really pleased with that. If you look at the county as a single district, we collected 10.659 million. And our rate was slightly a little higher, 99.921. So doing really well. Of that amount, 5.7 million is general fund, including tax distributions and revenue recapture. That amount exceeds the amount of the budget for property taxes by over $36,000. And in fact, all 13 components of the county's levy, all those pieces, all exceeded budget. Not by a lot. Some was like $900, but general fund was 36,000. So I think that's always a good thing. And the same situation for Millrace Crossing also exceeded budget. So that makes that cash carry forward a little easier for next budget year. So that concludes my report, unless you have any questions. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Let's go back. Very generous. About county clerk.
Thank you, Chairman. Sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather. So on the reporting side, in the fall, the number of recordings were pretty consistent. You'll see in November, there was a decrease time of year as far as the tax that the county brings in. We were just $3,000 shorter than the month before. So a little bit difference there, but it's slowing down a little bit on the recorder side. Secretary of State reached out today regarding statement of economic interest. Those are the yellow forms that everybody loves. Those will be changing just a little bit. Effective January 1st due to inflation. Dollar amounts will be different. So not a huge and work on our end to for all the people that are elected or appointed, we pre-fill some of those. So just a little bit more work on our end, but that will be changing. The Liquor Commission will be meeting next Thursday. We are anticipating 12 applicants to renew their annual license, and we have 10 of those in. So we're in good shape there. December is usually a busy month on the tax side for us as far as the redemption goes and working with tax buyers, but also the last Tuesday in December is when all the taxing districts need to have their levies turned in with our office. So there's been a lot of districts coming in to file their levies, as well as some districts that have some new people that need some assistance understanding the tax process and how the tax computation reports are calculated. Do you guys have any questions?
Okay, sounds good, thank you. Let's go to supervisor of assessments.
So Stephanie was all excited about the end of the tax cycle, so the evil person that starts the tax cycle. So I sent out 5,400 notices, December 3rd. They have 30 days, so January 2nd will be any time that somebody wants to file a complaint against the assessment. We've had quite a few phone calls. I can honestly say the people that we've had call in has been very kind for the first time in many, many years. They're not happy with the whole situation. Just for an FYI, I'm not happy with the situation of people paying, so much for the houses and stuff like that, but the public has been very, very kind and just wanting an explanation and sort of an estimate so they understand that they can put some money aside so it's not a big hit or whatever. So that's what we will deal with for the next January 2nd. So.
Rest of your report looks standard, I think.
It takes up a lot of our time. with my part-time person coming back and stuff like that, so and he's worked a couple extra days and stuff like that, so it usually takes up, cause it's usually, 4 or 5 minute conversation. We want them to understand the process. I mean, the system is broke and, the state has recognized that, whether it changes it in our lifetime or not, but once they understand the system, they're, some people just want to understand it.
Right. I guess I'd point out, you get in here about the senior freeze exemption need to be turned in by the end of the year, so if anybody online hears that.
Yeah.
Might want to get busy.
Yes,
So,
and,
okay.
another thing might wanna, so the state has, passed in the House and the Senate to raise the limit. It's now set $75,000, but the governor has not signed it. So Stephanie
Told us all that.
Stephanie and I are, she has to do with the deferral and I do for the senior freeze. So he has until January 30th to sign it or whatever. We usually have our senior freezes out by at least then, usually the week before, because we try to do it coincide when they get their year-end statements. So this year, my freezes are gonna be late, so as soon as I can find out anything, I'm gonna put something on the website and Facebook and anything like that, so, but we all know people like consistency, so that's why we do it, so it's gonna throw a lot of the older generation off because they're used to that pattern and stuff like that, but I don't wanna send out, things with it and then something happens where it's not, because they've talked for the last 4 or 5 years. And like I said, it's passed in 2 of them, but you still need the governor to sign it.
Very good. Yes.
The phone calls, are they pretty much the same conversation, or is it?
I could probably put, yes, Adam, I could probably put a recording of,
Well,
I got my assessment notice. Some people, what does it mean? Some people, we've had quite a few, the people that do have the senior freezes, they're a little confused. They are still thinking that their taxes or their assessments frozen is the assessment that they pay on. So when they get the assessment notice and it goes up, then just trying to explain to them that you need a current assessment, but this is what you're using for. I've had a couple disabled vets that don't pay any taxes, so then they think their assessment is totally wiped out. That's not, so they're confused why they're getting the notice. And once again, just like a senior freeze or whatever, they need a current assessment if they would go and sell it or whatever, just how the exemption actually works. That's why they're not paying any taxes. So that's the majority of the reason.
Okay.
A lot of people, they recently purchased the house, so then they haven't gotten one. People that have gotten them for many, many years, they understand it. But since it's supposed to be done every 4 years, if you bought your house 3 years ago, this might be an all a new thing. So a lot of it is lately knowledge.
Sure. I ask because one thing we've talked about in small examples is, especially when it relates to education, if
Mhm.
there's any opportunity for us to do a short 3-minute video recording that explains some of these kind of standard
You
questions.
could.
It wouldn't reduce
I could.
all the phone calls, it wouldn't free up all of your time, but it might help.
Right.
I know we've talked about that with different tech things on Nate's end and this and that, and not that you need one more thing to do, but
No,
but that-
because there are different, I've had different things on different websites or whatever. I know different counties have, I haven't done it yet, but like frequently asked questions that you can just sort of give a blank answer to and stuff like that. Absolutely. I'd be perfectly fine with.
might be something to, entertain.
Because I could probably pick out as long as I've been doing it, at least the top 5 that I get asked every
And
tax
again,
cycle.
if it frees up half an hour in your week, that's gold.
Well,
Yeah.
and then that information also is in writing. We did have a disabled vet that, you know, we know the statutes and stuff like that, and they were just trying to understand it. So then
Sure.
instead of printing out, we printed for her the 3 pages of the statutes for the disabled, so she could see it, that this is what we're following or whatever, but sometimes just in writing's a little more
Yeah.
instead of, you know, how word of mouth, sometimes things get a little confused, so that is an amazing thing. And yeah, I'm more than happy to do whatever if we get to that point.
Keep moving on, I guess, county administrator.
Thank you. Well, as all of you are aware, the past due vendor communications from the nursing center are ongoing. I think on Monday I had 11 phone calls between calling people back that I had gotten emails from or people calling, asking about past due vendors and things. So, that's ongoing fun, but hopefully nearing somewhat of a resolution shortly. Rand and I are still working to complete the UCCI annual salary and fringe. We have to enter in all of the salaries, and with our financial software, it doesn't update till after that takes place on January 1st. So it takes longer than what it should. Yes, yeah. But we're hoping to have that done either, if not by Friday, Monday or Tuesday. So along with that, the annual IMRF posting needs to be completed and up as well. So working on that as well. On Thursday and Friday of last week, I attended the fall downstate meeting for the professional organization that I am in. Thursday afternoon, we had a kind of a small group, informal kind of get together just to discuss topics within our either cities or counties, and just to share ideas, that sort of thing. Thursday evening, there was farewell and awards to the 2 retiring senior advisors. John Phillips is who was in our area, and I was put in contact. He reached out to me literally within the first week that I was in this position. Has been a great mentor and did a lot on the senior advising end. So that resource will be hard to refill, but it was a nice going away for he and his counterpart. There's 2 of them retiring, and between them they have 100 years experience in the field. So that was nice. And then Friday there was breakout sessions, leadership and succession planning, and how that works a countywide. How do we retain good employees, promote from within? I did share our kind of leadership book club thing that we have started and are going to expand next year. And I had a couple reach out to me after the fact. I was like, how did you do this? What made you start this? And, you know, so that idea went over pretty well, but shared some things on that. We ended up in a small group with 2 other counties that also had a lot of conversation with nursing homes. So Peoria County had built a new facility and then closed it and had to sell it, but it was a vote because of they had just taken bonds out to finance building the building. Boone County is weighing options, and then just drew a blank on the other county. Anyway, that conversations, we were all in different stages of county nursing home ownership, and was a pretty long conversation. But the one thing that they closed the session on was if you could, you know, get your magic ball going, and if you could plan the organization's success and what it would look like, and just kind of shared ideas of what everyone's idea of success for their organization would look like. So RFP for shredding services will go to finance. Meeting next Greater Freeport Partnership meeting is a week from today. The last one was on November 19th.
I attended the Workforce Connection meeting December 2nd for Chairman Helms, voted on his behalf. That was at Radford Toolcraft. So we were able to go on a tour of the facility after the meeting, and they talked about partnerships and retaining talent, local talent, and things like that. Land bank meeting is tomorrow. And just an update for anyone who doesn't know, the court matters for the nursing home on December 1st. Arguments were heard and matters were taken under advisement for the judge to issue a ruling. That was continued to December 29th at 1:30. Judge Olson kind of prefaced it with, we're going to set it and keep it on the court's calendar to move it along timely, but I can't guarantee a ruling will be issued that day with dates and things like that. So that is the next court date coming up. Oh, and at the department head meeting this morning, sorry, I wasn't gonna forget about this. What would you say, Nate? We've had about 6 or 8 emails back and forth with Access in the last few days. The copier company, they were on site last month to do their first quarterly readings for overages and things. So we got the first draft of the bill and things just didn't quite look right to me, and questions. They had a lot of copier locations that were incorrect. They had one listed in Iowa. Well, they forgot to change the address on the sticker that's in my office, apparently. And they sent the invoice for what they have as the overages. They still haven't been able to verify that those overages are above and beyond the 10% cushion that was built into our quote. And I have a conference call with them Monday afternoon, but I will pass this around just to kind of show where we're at with what they're saying as far as the overages. Quarterly, it's not too bad, but we got a bill for $175.94 split out amongst departments, but don't know if that's correct yet. So I'll just, if anyone wants to look at it
after.
yeah, I was gonna say.
All right, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I wanted to share some of the discussion, and feel free to, that we had today at the department meeting regarding our copiers and service and quality of copies and printing, and there's pretty much a consensus that it's not been great. And we have been struggling, and some of us have just gone back to our own office printers that we have and just given up. Nate, you were right, kind of thing, you know. I mean, I sort of feel this was a buyer beware, you got what you paid for thing. I'm hoping, I hope that this is just a fluke and things will improve, but we have not really experienced that. And it's been very, very, very challenging. And to see us being billed on top of that
Already.
already,
yeah,
first quarter, it says that
blows my
we've
mind.
exceeded our, I just, you know, not the record keeping, the communication, if we're struggling. We're
There's-
struggling a lot, so.
I know the sheriff's department had a machine replaced already. Is that correct?
That I don't know. I know this sounds maybe a little petty. It's not really IT, you know, if it's not working, I will try to fix what I can, but these are exactly what I warned the county board about was going to happen with the quality of these machines. Someone from Iowa that is supposed to come and service, they don't even want to do that. They sent me an email asking if I could be their feet to go work on stuff for them. And I'm like, I got my own job to do. So this whole thing has just been a fiasco, and the only good news is it's already paid for. So we technically could cut bait and go back, but it's gonna cost us. You know, we wasted 5 or 6 years, and I don't know if they probably get that money if we break the contract. I don't know how that works, but
We have to review the contract.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just not good. It's just been horrible, from the word go. And I'm frustrated because I feel like I laid all this out there and people just shut me down. And someone even said in the board meeting, we don't care if we break down a little more. And I can't remember who said that because it's cheaper. But I'll tell you what, the return on our dollar that we're getting is not great. Our efficiency is probably worse.
And, I don't know how long people sit when their copier is down for them to get here. Gordon Flush was like same day or next day at the latest. So it's just they keep emailing me like I should help them fix it. I don't have time. I got my own job to do and I told you guys. And as far as I'm concerned, they lied to us from the jump because when we asked for the equipment, they said, when do you want it? And then when we signed it, they're like, oh, we need 8 weeks lead time or whatever it was. So I don't feel like they've been truthful from the jump and I'm just kind of over all the conversations. But the biggest thing that blows my mind is getting a bill already.
Right.
I just don't understand it.
So why don't we talk to Jane, have this conversation with finance, we look at the contracts. And see
Yeah,
if there's
'cause
any, see if there's any outs or something. We
It,
did up that contract.
You know, there was a lot of stories being shared this morning,
About quality too.
and service.
Yeah.
Probation had when they were scanning, they were getting a black line down.
They emailed me for it. Can you go down and clean the copier?
Oh, but it gets better.
Oh, yeah, it gets better.
No, listen.
So, you know, after like the third or fourth time that this has happened, they've gone to cleaning it with alcohol pad and doing all this before they even call because they know that's what they're gonna be told to do. So the last time a tech actually came out there was like, well, what? You probably caused it by cleaning it. She was like, well, no, the reason I cleaned it was because I had this. And then he gave her a napkin and told her to use that to clean it instead.
Like
Yes.
Jimmy John's one on the
Yes.
console of your car. Yeah.
And that was supposed to solve it.
And I think every department has these kind of stories.
Yes.
Where we go through and say a story, but I think every department could share a story with you of their frustration with.
Why don't we do that? Let's
Have the conversation.
get that contract.
I mean, and I don't mean it for us to sound like we're whining. I really don't, but we've been trying.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
We've
do.
really been trying to work with them and I feel like Nate especially we're hitting brick walls no matter what direction we turn it. It's been a little difficult.
If we'll do that first, and if we have to bring them in here and have a conversation, then maybe we'll do that too. So,
I think we should have that with regardless.
great. Well, I think we probably need to do both, but
Yeah,
Thank you for listening to us.
yeah,
Thank you.
because that's not productive for us.
it's not
If we're
productive for
spending time back and forth trying to figure out which printer, it's not, and then Nate has his job to do, right?
Well,
So,
it's not just that, but when a department calls, you don't sit there and tell them it's their fault.
right.
And you know, like they're cleaning it wrong or whatnot, because you've been here 3 times, so obviously you didn't clean it right.
Right.
So, I'm sorry, I'm a little
No, you're
tired of
fine.
cranky today, so.
I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
let's try to bring them for the next meeting that we have.
well,
Finance or,
I'll talk to Jim too. I'll give him a call, something here. See what.
I think they have some answering to do.
Definitely sounds like it, so, okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, Nate. You were There's more, you got phones and things, right?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just tired.
No,
The last
it's-
24 hours has been a little
Yeah,
a
so,
little hectic. So as you all know, we have switched over to the new phone system. I think I talked with every aspect of the county today, except for the 5th floor, which has me puzzled. Did you guys not have any issues?
No, I didn't.
yeah.
Everybody got through. Got nothing.
All right,
So,
well,
and I had many phone calls. So I had nothing dropped. The ID came up. I read all your little things. I had nothing.
yeah, I was a little frustrated at the caller ID tickets I got today after I explained the caller ID was messed up and I was gonna need till the end of today to get that aligned. So it just showed me not everybody reads my emails. So, just a synopsis of this, last time we did a phone project, it was just the phones. So, it was just swapping out phones and it kind of still worked. This time we took the big project of our phone system was old and it was a dinosaur essentially. We were trying to figure out the day to day when the county went to IP phones and it's probably 20 probably close to 20 years. So for a phone system, they were telling us like, look, this might just stop working at some point and, you know, you have to upgrade. So we're overhauling with new phones and a new system. So part of the problem here was taking the old systems config and coding and all of that and putting it into a new system. Not all of it translated well, but the only way we could find out what was wrong is we have to go live with everybody on it. And we have to find out what's broken and where, which has been we expected it, but it's still been a very hectic process. I won't explain today, but the good news is that I think every issue that came up, I think we've got fixed. The voicemail to email was broken and we just fixed that probably 15 minutes ago. So what I don't know is if anything that came in today, voicemail wise to email, I don't think you're gonna get those. So it's anything from us fixing it going forward, voicemail should be fixed. Caller ID is still messed up on the old Polycom phones. It's the correct caller ID, but it comes with an IP address because the phones are so old. When we put in the new phones, caller ID will be just as it should be and it'll look fine. The new phones are pretty snazzy. I'm probably gonna hear a complaint because they're probably the size of the old Polycoms. So anybody that had the smaller Polycoms, it's gonna be a little bit bigger. They're touchscreen, they're state of the art for the most part. So, there'll be some training involved. We did pay Arrow for the installation of those, so thank God I don't have to go to every desk that has a phone. They'll be coming in and they'll be doing some of the training so I can move on to whatever the next project is. So, we hope to start. We want tomorrow to go good. We're gonna give it another day just to see what creeps up or if there's any other issues. If we have a full day of nothing going on, Friday, we hope to put it in admin's phones and test that. That's like 4 phones, but it'll give us an idea. To be honest, this is the hard part of the project. Once we get everything to quiet down, the phone should just be plug and play and then learning how to use them. So they're touchscreen, they're nice, and you can get fancy headsets too. Departments pay for their own. But you can do headsets with them and all that other stuff. We just tested a headset that works with it. Yeah, it works pretty good. So it just gives people the option to be hands-free if you're doing a lot, you know, so it's getting there. So that's my update. That's pretty much dominated most of this week and it'll probably dominate tomorrow. I'm setting time aside tomorrow. We got a fix in for the voicemail to email. Tomorrow we're gonna make sure it's done properly. So I got some time blocked out to work with Arrow directly to do some stuff on the back end, but other than that, does anybody have any questions?
Like a busy week, so thank you, Nate.
You're welcome.
Okay. Alrighty, that's it for the departmental reports. No business, new business, 9.1 approval of RFP for table shredding service. We're gonna have to move that to finance.
Yes.
So since we don't have that ready, gonna be ready for Monday, so I'm just gonna make a motion that we do that. Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Move 9.2, because that's not quite ready for the AI thing. How about 10.0? Any comments from committee members? You think? No. How about 11.0 adjournment?
Make a motion.
And a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
You go.